Well, hi, everyone. Thank you for listening to the Inside Wayzata podcast. Today, we are continuing with our theme of starting at new schools, and we are doing an episode on what it's like to be an incoming ninth grader, incoming freshman at Wayzata High School. And we have three very special guests joining us today. We have Emily Haugh, who works at the high school, and we have seniors Jovania and Stella, who are going to give all of you the inside scoop on what it's like to be a freshman at the high school, what that experience was like for them, as now they are seasoned pros entering their senior year and running the high school. So thank you all for joining me today.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
So let's start with you, Emily. What exactly do you do at the high school, and how does that connection with freshmen happen?
Awesome. Well, my full-time gig is being the academic mentor coordinator, which is students who support students during the school day in classrooms, whether that's at the high school, middle school, or elementary school. Alongside that, I coordinate Link Crew, which is upperclassmen, 11th and 12th graders, who apply and are selected to be leaders who support the incoming ninth graders and new students. So they're a high-energy, amazing group of students who make it fun and hopefully help make that transition into high school a little easier.
Jovania, Stella, and you guys are part of the Link Crew.
Yes.
How long have you been involved in that?
We applied after our sophomore year, and then I guess I've been in it since 11th and 12th grade.
This is my first time, so it's kind of new to me, but I remember it since freshman year, and it was a really good experience to be able to have leaders show you around and whatnot.
Right. So, Jovania, as we go back to your freshman year, do you remember what some of those feelings were like as you're leading up to that first day? It's the biggest high school in the state of Minnesota. Right. So it's intimidating. Do you remember any of those feelings you had leading up to that first day or on that first day?
Well, for me, it was a mix of both nervousness and excitement because, for one, I was able to go in with my brother. As I was coming in freshman year, he was going into senior year. So it was kind of like, oh, I'm kind of safe in a way. And I also had my twin brother who was also going to the same school with me. So it was kind of like, I have family here, so I don't have to be scared too much. But the first day, it was kind of scary because you really couldn't find your classes. Like, it was bad. Like, it probably took me 2 weeks to get used to the school, every floor and everything. So, but it was definitely a good experience.
Yeah, I think every time I go to the high school, I get lost. Right. And the floors don't make any sense.
Exactly.
This isn't helping for the podcast. But, you guys will figure it out. What about you, Stella? Do you remember the first day?
Yeah, if I look back on it, I think the hardest part for me was just stepping on the bus, just taking that first step, because you feel really alone and then you see someone on the bus and you feel great. And then once you go into the school, the Link Crew leaders are just there and they're super excited that you're there. And I think it's just a welcoming experience. I will say that I got really freaked out over lunch, but then at the first day we have only freshmen in lunch, which is very, very helpful.
Yeah, and then one thing that'll happen, it has been happening, is this kind of the staggered, I guess, start for in person for high schoolers. Emily, from your perspective, how important is it to have the ninth grade students in person with the Link Crew? And then you kind of wait a day to have the rest of the school show up.
I could not be more grateful that we made that change, because last year was actually the first year we did it that way. And Mr. Gangler, our principal, he had pushed for that for a long time, and we finally made it happen. And it allows us to focus on our freshmen and new students so they feel like they're really just getting that individualized attention. They're getting a tour of the school. They're getting to meet people. They're going through the lunch line without the upperclassmen there. Because it's terrifying, right? The first time. So like, what do I do? What do I scan? How do I pay for my lunch? And we have the most incredible culinary area. The amount of options are insane, but you have to choose one, and you're taking so much time thinking about it that you're in the end of the line. So it's been awesome to be able to have that switch. We also now can have all the staff members members there with us. So we do a huge assembly at the beginning where people get to listen to me sing and dance and all the good stuff. But I think it's been incredible to be a little more unified, like have our staff hear the same messages the students are hearing, have our staff there to help the students find their classes, just like the link leaders are there to find their classes. We have an activity fair that day so they can learn more about what they can do and get involved in. They walk through their class schedule, first block to second block, to third block to fourth block. So they get in the routine of knowing which stairwell do I take and all of that good stuff. So it's been a game changer to be able to have them be our sole focus on the first day of school.
It's funny. We did the Incoming Kindergarten podcast, Incoming Sixth Grade, and the themes for the first day are very similar for a new kindergartner and a new sixth grader. It's like, where do I go? How do I find my class? How do even like navigating lunch? It sounds so basic, but it's those little things that when you're in a school that big that I assume is intimidating.
Yeah. I mean, still now once we get our schedules, I'm texting my friends and I'm like, but nobody knows how to find the schedule usually as a freshman or like guessing which lunch they would have. So I think it gets a little tough for them, but it is really, really nice on the first day. I remember that.
Jovania, you talked a little bit about how beneficial the Link crew was for you on that first day. Yes. Can you, because I suppose it's one thing for, not that the staff there aren't great and helpful, but to see your peers helping you navigate, what was that like for you?
For me, I feel like it was very beneficial because I was able to just they were bringing us around in the tours. They gave me picture memory of where this is or general areas of specifics. Like you have the science here, you have the math here and whatnot. And it just helped kind of decompress how scary it can be because you're able to see everything on your own for that one day and you're just guided the whole time. You have different activities that you go through and those activities they really broke the ice for me. And even though it was it could be sometimes some kids are oh, it's kind of boring or whatnot, but once they get into it, they realize it's really fun.
Mm-hmm.
Emily, for you, when you see, it's 1,000 or so incoming freshmen on that first day, and you see some of their nerves and excitement for everything that's coming with going to a school this big, what does that feel like from the staff perspective when you see all those new students that are kind of equal parts eager and nervous about the first day?
Well, it's such an honor to be able to be the one who welcomes them. I love the students I get to work with. This is the joy of my life. I have so much purpose being a teacher, and to be able to be the one who's having fun with them and making sure they feel welcome right off the bat is just such a privilege. I will say I don't actually get that nervous, but when the staff started attending, I was like, oh, I'm really nervous now. Oh, my peers are seeing me. So I do know what that feels like, but it's a great way to start the day. We have so much fun. We do relay races. We sing songs. It's awesome.
So as the first day happens and there's, you're figuring out where you're going. Do you remember, Jovania, how long it took you to feel like you were in a rhythm of, I know where I'm going. I feel good about this. I got this.
Well, I mean, I'd say it took me about maybe a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks. But then also as I've gone through, you still get kind of lost. Even though you're a junior or whatever, I was still getting lost sometimes. And I was like, oh, but it said it was over here. And this it's just kind of a little confusing, but you make patterns. The first number would always correlate to which floor you're on. And then you just get used to where the wings are, and then you just find them, and it gets easier as you go on.
What about you, Stella?
I would have to agree with that. I think still, I remember one specific time I went to the wrong floor and in the wrong classroom, just opened the door and I was like, this is not my class. But I think it happens to everybody. Definitely. So it's not a big deal. And I think that freshmen really put a lot of pressure on that specific part is they don't want to embarrass themselves. But honestly, it's nobody really notices because everybody else is really nervous too. Right. So I think that it's a really good setup for a great first day, and getting into that rhythm, getting into that schedule is actually a lot easier than a lot of people think.
Mm-hmm. Do you remember there being a big adjustment? I mean, this is going back a few years for you both, but do you remember there being a big adjustment of going from middle school to the high school?
yes. And I went to Central. So Central was already pretty big.
Yeah.
And I was new there for my 8th grade year. So I had already kind of gone through the motions of being new to Wayzata. But I think at the high school level, school kind of becomes a little bit more important and like the grades start to matter or that type of thing. And I think that was the biggest adjustment to me, is making sure that I get the good habits right as I step in and do my homework, study, that type of thing.
What about you?
Well, for me, I had just moved here before 6th grade started, so I was still getting accustomed to how Wayzata was and whatnot. And I came from West, but with my brother already going there, I was able to like use him as like a tool and find out like what it was going to be like. And as I got there, I'd say there were some big adjustments, especially not only in the size, but in the class and also the time that in which the times of the class like went on for, and then the transitions, and then the 10 minutes passing time and etc. So I was just getting used to like different rules and different timings.
Yeah. Well, we'll get back to the academic part with you guys, but I'm going to start with Emily. It is a big shift for a lot of families, not just students, but there's a higher expectation on the academic side when you get to the high school. So if a parent's listening to this right now and they're concerned about, I just don't know how my student is going to handle that increase and whatever those expectations are, what would you tell them?
Oh, goodness. Well, we really have so many supports built in. And so it's just, hopefully your student feels safe and comfortable advocating for themselves to their teacher, their link leader, whoever it is that they've made a connection with. If they're not comfortable, then reach out to us, because we have a huge support system. And we want to ensure that every single student is getting the support that they need. I think the link leaders do a really great job of supporting them with the transition and kind of the social emotional stuff. And then the other program that I coordinate, the academic mentors, these are upperclassmen who are supporting you in content specialties. And so they're available during classes and before and after school. So y'all can reach out to me if your student is really struggling and you need to connect them with someone. But I think first and foremost, it's building connections with the teachers, building connections with their classmates, and building connections with their link leaders, because there's so many people who are in their corner and want to support them if they just ask.
What was it like for you, the shift in kind of this academic, and I don't want to make it sound like it's more intimidating than it needs to be, but there's a shift, right?
Yeah.
It's there's more expectations, there's more demands. What was that like for you?
For me, I went into it knowing that there was going to be a little more work than usual, but I also like subconsciously still procrastinated because I was like, it couldn't be that hard. And as it did catch up to me, I was still able to save myself because I had a lot of resources, teachers, student leaders, I had counselors, deans. There's a lot. As many problems as there could be in the school, there's either as much or more help there. So I feel like you don't have to worry about reaching out. You could literally ask your teacher, ask another teacher, ask anybody for help, and they would be open to helping.
What about you? What was that like?
I would absolutely agree with that. I think that the staff and the teachers and there are so many people that are in each student's corner. So I would say when I needed help in a specific class, it was so easy and so accessible for me to email my teacher or go up to them in person. Like, everybody there is the most wonderful human beings ever. So I would say that for the academic front has been super helpful, is just the staff really being supportive of it.
So it is a huge school, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
We've already hit on it a few times. That I think Emily is the only person that says she hasn't gotten lost. Based on
I
this.
have a story. You can cut this if it doesn't work.
We want to hear it.
Okay, so it was like my second or third year teaching there, and the math department, no, maybe it was my first, I don't know. We're eating lunch on the first floor, okay? And my classroom was on the third floor. Anyway, we're having this conversation, and I didn't realize I was late for class. And so I started sprinting, and without recognizing it, I went to the fourth floor instead of the third floor. And I go to the classroom that would be my classroom, and I look at it, and I'm like, the carpet's a different color. How did they do that while I was at lunch? And I'm like, oh, wrong floor. See you later.
Gosh.
Yeah, that's real. But that's the nice thing. Our floors are color coded.
Yes.
Yeah. So there's like green, blue, red. So there are clues if you pay attention.
Yes.
And I think the main floor is like the second floor.
Yeah.
Well, that's,
Yeah.
Okay. When you walk in the front entrance, that is the second floor.
Yes.
I don't know how many times I've gone down to the first floor. I'm like, I'm heading out now, and I'm like, wait a minute, I don't know where I am.
Where's the door?
Yeah. Yes, absolutely.
It's huge. It's massive. It's all these things, but I've heard from different folks that it doesn't feel as big as it actually is, right?
Yeah.
So if you can go back to the feelings of, wow, I'm at the biggest high school in the state, to, you know what, this isn't nearly as large as it may have seemed right away. Do you remember any of that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do. I remember like when my parents told me when we moved to when I was going into 8th grade, when we moved, they were like, it's the biggest district in Minnesota. And I got super freaked out. But the high school specifically is mapped out. Every floor is the same. And it's very easy to get around on that front. It's just sometimes you go to the wrong floor, but that's okay. And I think that it makes it a lot smaller with all of your counselors, all of your deans, and those are all the same people to you. And so some people may have different people that they have for their counselors and stuff. But I would say it's kind of like there are specific people set for you, which makes it kind of smaller. And the 10-minute passing times are a game changer too, because you can go see your friends from the opposite side of the building.
Do you remember any of those feelings?
Yes. For me, it was definitely a big school, but as you went through the days, you realize there's a lot of people in this school. So everywhere you went, there's probably some people that you've seen in every spot. So it's like, it almost makes it feel smaller than it is. So you get used to it and accustomed in a way where you notice there's patterns and there's also like, it's as filled as big as it is. So you don't have to worry too much about it being like this huge thing that you're approaching.
Mm-hmm.
I heard a saying once that you can't make a small school bigger, but you can make a big school feel smaller.
Mm-hmm.
And I look at the opportunities. I went to a small school in Wisconsin. And I look at all the opportunities that students have at Wayzata High School. And I think that's the coolest part to me. Mm-hmm. You're involved in a lot of those cool things, Emily. Can you talk a little bit about those opportunities that students have that you really don't get at smaller schools?
Yeah. I feel the same way, like coming from a smaller school and seeing the course offerings that we have, it is incredible. Like I wish I could be a student at Wayzata High School because I want to take pottery. I want to take the graphic communications compass class. Like the amount of things that our students can choose from is extraordinary. And that's one piece of advice I would have for people who are thinking about high school and what they want to make out of it is to explore. Because you never know what passion you're going to find when you get into a course. But we have so many students who they find their purpose by trying a class that maybe at first they're like, well, I don't know if I should or not, or I don't know if I'm interested in this, but this is the time to try those things. And I don't think, have you guys ever regretted trying a new and unique course?
No, I haven't. Yeah. I remember, I don't know if it was sophomore or freshman year, but I remember I was thinking, okay, I'm going to go all out. I'm just going to take random classes. I'm going to see what I like. I took ceramics. I took photography. Yes. I took painting. I took all kinds of classes. And I was like, yeah, you get a lot from all of the classes. Even if you end up not liking one, as long as you just pick from different fields and you can like get a feel for every different subject. And you just like, you get to know yourself better.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
what about you?
I would say like I think Wayzata High School sets up such a unique career finding experience in high school. Like it's so cool. There's one of my friends, she got to spend her last year. She did an internship for being a car mechanic, and I thought that was so cool that like she had the opportunity to. That's so specific and so niche almost towards Wayzata. But I would say like, I mean, I was convinced I was going to do business and I loved the class, but also I kind of found something different. I loved ceramics. I loved those science classes. Like you just kind of figure it out, which is really cool. And of course, there's so much to think about, especially as seniors. I think we can both agree on that, but Wayzata really sets us up to at least see all of those fields.
I also wanted to add, when CTE comes around, when you hear about it, definitely attend to it. It has a lot of opportunities that you can explore. So
Yeah. So what is CTE for those that don't know what it is?
CTE, I forget what it stands for. Do you?
So it's career and technical education. And we have just a plethora of courses where students can kind of investigate what they might be hoping for later in life. So we have our Compass courses, which is 2 blocks a day for juniors and seniors, where they're getting 2 credits, like our cybersecurity. We have our business, is it business management?
I think so. Business
and then
econ, yeah.
Yeah, you get to econ credit while you're taking it in the graphic communications. But we also have other computer science courses. We have personal finance. We have independent money management. We have architectural design.
Yeah.
We have architectural design. We have interior design. Like, it's endless, the list. And it helps students to see like some possibilities for careers. And some of them are just a term course. Some of them have a sequence. So you take one, you like it, you can take more. I think it really helps people to kind of just explore what's out there a little bit more.
You talked about some of the classes you took. Do you have one if you were like, maybe not necessarily the best class, but one that was like, I can't believe I'm taking this class?
Intro to animation.
What?
It was, I don't know why I took it, but it was something I was just feeling like, okay, my brother draws and I like art. So I was like, okay, let me try out intro to animation. And it was actually very, very fun. I was like, I should not be in this class at all. But the first day that I went in there, but then after like a week or so, I was like, yeah, it's really fun. Just being able to like test things out. She lets you go, kind of go your own way with things while still having support. But yeah, it was very fun. Although I didn't do that great. But it was very fun.
What about you, Stella?
I would definitely say culinary. I thought that was so much fun. I had it my last block. And so before I'd go home, I'd get to bring monkey bread with me. It was like so cool. So I thought that was like awesome. It was such a, wow, I'm actually like taking.
I suppose that's one way to become popular at the high school is give people tasty food. Yeah.
Yeah.
People love the treats.
They really do.
That's great. Oh, that's so fun. Okay, we've talked about the academics, which is a big thing. There's also a big social side of the high school. All of you are going through one of the most exciting, parts of your life. There's a whole large school of new friends and new opportunities. Was that part intimidating for you?
For me personally, I would say no, because going to West, I kind of like knew everyone already. So and also I was involved in sports. So I was like, kind of knew people from East, kind of knew people from Central. And as I was going to the high school, I was like, even if I have to meet new people, which of course I will and whatnot, I'm bound to know at least some people. And I also did have my brothers again. So with that, I was able to kind of use it as like, okay, I don't have to be as scared and I can still be open to meeting new people, especially with the opportunities that are coming into high school. So.
And you met new people.
Yes, of course, definitely.
Awesome.
Like Miss Haugh.
Yes.
Way back in geometry class.
Yeah.
Oh, fun.
One of my favorite teachers. Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
What about you, Stella?
I would say I was a little intimidated with the social stuff. Being new to 8th grade and then just stepping into the high school, it's very overwhelming because there's so much to choose from. And all of the different clubs are incredible. But also when you step in, you're like, what? And then I think for me, I really felt like I should be doing something because one of my friends are, but everywhere you look, there is going to be a community for you. And I think that's really special is everyone there has such a big heart, such a pure heart, and they really want you to succeed. And even peers and students, I personally have not found a single person that I want to be friends with, or I don't want to be friends with.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. I was like, wait, what? But I would say, I think that part really gave me peace of mind as soon as I realized that everyone there is really, really excited to be there and to have you there.
From the staff side, Emily, obviously all these opportunities are, there's great academic opportunities that come with them, but the social piece is probably perhaps one of the things, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but one of the things you notice the most is when students come together in whether it's a new class or club, and they kind of form those friendships. when you're observing that, what do you observe when you see that?
It's an interesting question. I guess you see how it evolves throughout high school. Like there are students who come in and they have their really tight friend group, and that might be their tight friend group for the year, for all of high school, or somewhere in between. I think the students who find the most success are those who are willing to step outside their comfort zone and just say hi and make new friends in class. And there are those opportunities in some classes more than others. Some are more like we're working in a group. Let's have some small talk and learn about these people. But I think it's important to always look for new friends because you never know how your lives are going to change and twist and turn. And it's just good to meet people from all walks of life and grow that social connection.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we're going to go around. If, parent or guardian or student is listening right now and they're going to start high school here, would be, are we going to air this before school starts?
They're starting.
Starting high
They're in
school.
the first week.
They're starting high school.
Okay.
What would be the one piece of advice you would give as they begin?
Good question.
Yeah, I need to decide between all the different things that I'm thinking about right now.
Yeah.
But I would have to say, get to know the teachers that you're going to be around for the whole year. Like, even like in the first week, see if you can just go and reach out to those teachers, see if you can see how things will work in their class. I mean, I understand it can be a little difficult to reach out to the students, but if you can do that as well as you get into the classrooms. But if you can't do that, then at least reach out to those teachers. That way you know how class can go. That way you know who you can reach out to for support, whether it be where to find something or how to approach something or like schoolwork, anything.
Mm-hmm.
What about you, Stella?
I would have to say to make sure that you're doing something that you really want to do or spending time where you want to, because when I came in, I think I was in the mindset of I should be doing this. I should be doing this. And really like all of our paths are so different. And so I think it's really important to like spend your time where you want to. Don't do something you don't like. If you don't like it and you discover you don't like it, don't spend more time doing that, I guess, unless you want to explore it more. But making sure to prioritize what you really enjoy. And I think that makes the high school experience so like beneficial to the rest of your life too.
That's really good. What about from you?
Well, I want to say first, we're so excited to have you. Seriously. And yes, I'm like this every day. You can find me.
Yes.
Happy human.
Running in the hall to find the classroom.
I'll just like walking around. Hey, I'm in the media center. Anyway, I would say the one thing I would want every student to do is to not be afraid to ask questions. Mm-hmm. Whether that's a question of the peer sitting next to you or the teacher, if it's academic or social, like please just ask, because we need to learn how to be advocates for ourselves. And we're really working on like creating healthy, happy, well-rounded people. And it's important to recognize that your experience matters. And like there are people who will support you no matter what you need, but you got to find your voice, use your voice, because we want to help.
What about for families, parents and guardians? What would be your big piece of advice for them?
Gosh.
I'm going to ask you guys this too. Okay. So
I would say understand that, and I feel like parents know this, but it's a process. And so it might take a few weeks for them to be convinced. For example, my own daughter started in Spanish immersion in kindergarten. Took her till December to stop asking to be transferred to another class. And now she loves it, but it's time. It's getting used to it. But helping them, supporting them with like what to say if they feel like they aren't making a connection. So how can they reach out? Coach them on that. Have a small talk conversation with them. And that's something that we'll do with them as leaders is we'll try to help them build those connections in the small groups that they're in. But support them with some of those skills to get the ball rolling. Because once they're in, they're in. We just need to give it a little push sometimes. Mm-hmm. And again, any parent, guardian, caregiver, if you feel like your student really isn't finding their people, please reach out to a student support team member, principal, AP, like whoever it is. We want to help.
Okay, so for what I have to say, I would have to say that the parents, yes, they should definitely be a guideline for their students, help them figure out what classes they want to take and whatnot. But at the same time, don't pressure them too much to take a certain class and let them explore. That way they can definitely like figure out for themselves what they want to do, because your first year into high school, you're definitely not going to be dead point set on one thing. Yeah. And it's also just best to, with all the opportunities we have, it's best to just explore what you can. So I want to say, parents, give them some leeway, but at the same time, stay stern on them. That way they don't procrastinate, and also don't, take easy classes or just classes for the sake of passing or whatever, but help them find themselves.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would have to agree with that. I would say just to not put pressure on the experience. I think that it's really, like I said before, it's just really important to find the student to be able to find their own path. And of course, there's going to be outside pressures with that, but I would say that's a huge thing, at least from the family front. And then also just practice all those social situations, practice how to ask someone to have lunch. And I think everyone can use that, because it's really hard to ask those questions, but just working on assertiveness and how to approach different situations in the school. That's what really helped me, is sitting down with my mom and she asked, like, can I go? Or I had to ask her, can I come sit with you for lunch? And it helps kind of take a step back and be able to do it in the real scene. Yeah, that's what I would say.
So as we close, what is your favorite thing about Wayzata High School?
Oh, that's a hard question.
You had to pick one.
I can go first.
Okay,
I would definitely say the staff and the teachers, and like Miss Haugh. I spend a lot of time with Miss Haugh, and she is incredible. And like everyone there, I think it's so interesting. I would also say, because it's so big, but I think what's really cool about it is every single day there's an opportunity to meet someone new and make a connection with someone new, and someone who's grown up a completely different way or seen different things. Like, I think that is so beautiful as someone who is still growing and my mind is still developing. I think that is probably the best thing about it for me, is just being able to meet all of these people. And going in, it took me a while to understand that is the beauty of all of it. But I think that's probably my favorite part, is just how many different people that you can meet and how beautiful it is to learn about different people. So
for me, I would have to say it's the opportunities and programs that they give you. And once you realize that the accessibility is a little easier than you think it is, you tend to reach out more. For me personally, I was able to take a program, which was the Civil Rights Research Experience, where they were able to grab, I think it was about 30 kids, maybe 20 to 30 kids. And we were able to go on a week-long trip. We were able to learn about civil rights. We went down in the South. They had covered everything for us, and it was like very powerful. So I think once you realize that there's like almost endless opportunities and you just simply have to reach out, it shows you like that Wayzata actually cares about you. They have like so many opportunities for you. So it's just a matter of just literally just jumping on it.
Yeah. What's your favorite part?
Well, it is a very difficult question. I went through a lot of things in my head, but honestly, for me, it's the students. I think back to COVID when we were doing some learning at home, and I remember feeling like our school didn't have a heartbeat, like when they were not there. And so when you walk the halls and you see the energy and the joy, and like, I am so fortunate to get to work with students like this every day who just inspire me because they want to be the best version of themselves. They want to make a difference in the world. They want to learn and grow. And we are, the caliber of students that we have, second to none. They are amazing. And so, that's my favorite part.
That's a really good way to end. So, Emily, Miss Haugh, thank you. Jovania, Stella, thank you for joining us. Good luck with your senior year. It's exciting. Maybe we'll do another episode after the school year and check in, see what you guys are up to.
Fun.
That'd be fun.
After a great track season, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.